Hi, this is Josh with Skaa, and in this video, I'm going to quickly show you how to get started with your Dillinger Labs Streetheart wireless receiver. Streetheart is the ultimate standalone Skaa receiver to build your own custom wireless audio solutions. It has 4 balanced outputs to connect to speakers, amplifiers, and can also be used with headphones or a combination of devices. First, let's take a look at the user panel. On the user panel, press and hold the power button to turn on Streetheart, and the LED stack will show your battery life. You can also tap the power button to show your battery life at any time. Streetheart has an internal battery that can be charged over USB with virtually any 5-volt USB power adapter, and it'll last up to 12 hours on a full charge. Streetheart comes with a +2 dBi antenna, but you can always upgrade to a +5 dBi antenna if you need a more reliable connection at longer distances. If you use Streetheart bonded to its sister transmitter Danny, you can get up to a 50-meter reliable range with the standard +2 dBi antenna. And Danny can also be upgraded to the +5 dBi antenna for even more reliable range at long distances. All Skaa receivers, Streetheart included, have a bond button, and like many other Skaa receivers, the bond button on Streetheart is incorporated into the volume knob. The power LED will be shown in green if bonded to a standard Skaa transmitter, or red if it's bonded to a Skaa Pro transmitter. For example, if I bond to a Cassandra USB-C transmitter in my iPhone 15, you'll see this LED is green. If I double tap the bond button to explore for another transmitter, and connect to my Danny transmitter in Skaa Pro mode, you'll see that the LED is now red. Let's flip around to the output panel and talk about bonding and green listing. On the output panel, you'll see the bond indicator here. Right now it's shown in a bright amber color because it's bonded to a transmitter. If for some reason Streetheart doesn't automatically bond to an active transmitter, double tap the bond button and you'll see the bond indicator flash, showing that it's exploring for another transmitter. Once it's bonded to a transmitter, you'll see the bright amber LED. To save this transmitter to the Streetheart's green list, press and hold the bond button for a few seconds, and you'll see the LED turn a bright green color. The green list is essentially a favorites list that allows you to save up to 10 of your favorite transmitters. If you have multiple transmitters saved to Streetheart's green list at once, you can switch between them by pressing the bond button once. It's highly recommended to greenlist any transmitters that you use regularly, even if you only use one transmitter, because the greenlist also functions as a lockout, so you stay connected to only the transmitter that you want, and this also makes sure that the transmitter and receiver always remain bonded automatically whenever you power them off and then power them back on again. The good news is if you forget to greenlist your transmitter, the Streetheart will do this automatically after 30 minutes of use. You can also press the bond button 3 times to mute Streetheart, and you'll see a blinking LED. You can then press 3 more times to unmute the receiver. You'll see a big R for receiver on the user panel. This is especially useful when using this with a Danny transmitter, so you don't get the transmitter and receiver mixed up. Streetheart has 4 1/4-inch audio outputs. You can think of these as 2 parallel stereo outputs or 4 mono outputs, with the top and bottom outputs on the left both receiving signal from channel 1, and the top and bottom outputs on the right both receiving signal from channel 2. For best results, always use balanced TRS cables to connect your gear to Streetheart. If you use unbalanced TS cables, this will still work, but it cuts your signal level in half and gives noise a chance to creep into your audio signal. If you must use TS cables, use them on the lower outputs only. The upper outputs do not support unbalanced connections. However, the upper outputs do have some additional options. The headphone switch transforms both upper outputs into headphone outputs, so you can connect up to 2 pairs of wired headphones to Streetheart if you like. With the split switch in the up position, both headphones will hear audio channels 1 and 2 as left and right stereo audio. In the down position, headphone 1 will only hear channel 1, and headphone 2 will only hear channel 2. This is great if you're trying to use this in the studio for separate headphone cue mixes. You can apply a -6 or -12 dB pad to the upper output 1. This only applies to output 1, so if you're using a stereo source on the upper outputs, you'll likely want to keep this in the center position for no pad. Generally speaking, the first upper output is going to be your best option for single headphone monitoring. Keep the pad on -12, and if your headphones need a little more juice, flip this up to -6 or no pad in the center position. The signal LED will pulse in green along with the received audio signal. It's important to note that the signal LED shows the signal arriving at Streetheart, not the level being output from the jacks. This LED will never flash in red because Streetheart cannot clip. So make sure that your audio signals on the transmitter side are not clipping. Otherwise, you're just sending a clipped audio signal and you might hear some distortion coming from Streetheart. But it's actually your transmitter or any devices before the transmitter that need to be gain staged properly. If you want to check out the Dillinger Labs Streetheart receiver for yourself, head over to Skaa.com or Skaastore.com. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing to the Skaa Sound YouTube channel to stay up to date on all new Skaa products and quick start guides like this. Thanks for watching.